I'm going to expose the hidden weaknesses that women tend to hide out of fear that they could appear weak, but by being aware of these flaws, you can obtain an unexpected advantage in winning them over. Let's attack the strong one's vulnerability. Men whose actions align with their words captivate women in an irresistible way. Fascinated by those who talk little, and this is why it's simpler to. Women value deeds over words, so always make sure your actions match your words. Bolster your statements, for instance. If you wish to come across as a high-value man, let your deeds speak for you when you introduce her to your woman. Friends post pictures of them on social media, allowing for subtle communication. Your attractiveness and social status vulnerability number 2. The self-assured man. Women find confidence to be very attractive, and they are drawn to men who radiate confidence because it contrasts with their own fears in order to communicate with confidence firmly. Stay away from clichés and pay more attention than you speak. This isn't just makes her feel heard and infuses a sense of mystery, which excites her to greater interaction and show that you're not a pushover by not being afraid to say no, which boosts her respect and interest for you. Stick around to the finish of the film, because the last weakness I'll share is one you can readily exploit to lure her closer, you without any extra effort. Weakness. 3. The ambitious man. Ladies are profoundly attracted to men with ambition, individuals who refuse to settle for mediocrity. An ambitious man, whether he's beginning a business or exploring a new initiative, displays leadership and drive attributes that are really alluring. Weakness. 4. The mysterious bad boy. There's an unmistakable allure to the enigmatic bad boy that women often can't resist. They are pulled to the emotional highs and lows these men cause, which can leave them obsessed to embody this. Persona. Consider being a bit self-centered, take control of the relationship and keeping your intentions unknown, while I don't recommend entirely embracing the bad boy lifestyle. Embracing some of these features, such as keeping an air of unpredictability and not jumping into commitments, might make you more intriguing and desirable. Weakness. 5. Being neglected. Women thrive on attention and may feel a strong draw toward rivalry when you ignore her. You stand out and challenge her. Pride creating her wonder why she's not gaining your attention as others do to exploit this to your benefit. Treat her the same as everyone else, act at ease around her, and keep your distance from her. This will force her to strive harder for your attention, which can strengthen her inclination towards you. Weakness 6. The captivating womanizer. Women frequently find themselves irresistibly drawn to men who other women find attractive. This phenomenon is known as pre-election. To capitalize on this, hang out with female friends, even if, because there isn't a romantic interest, you come across as more desirable, which increases your attractiveness. The secret, in her opinion, is to demonstrate that other women find you attractive, which will inevitably improve your standing in her eyes. Weak point 7. The well-sent. According to a Brazilian study, women are especially susceptible to scent, increasing their propensity to be drawn to attractive men. Take advantage of this, be mindful of your grooming regimen, and use a pleasant-smelling, maintain a fresh breath with shampoo, and select a subtle yet durable. A well-groomed man exudes qualities of care and attention to detail in his cologne. That women find extremely alluring the masculine active weakness. 8. Men who radiate masculinity, which is typically characterized by physical strength, a strong voice, and emotional independence. These men are natural leaders who don't rely on others for validation to embody this, engage in physical activities, build leadership skills, and maintain your independence. This combo provides an impression of strength and stability, traits that women like. Very intriguing weakness. 9. The passionate guy, Unlike the stern, manly man, the passionate man captivates women via his great attention to what he loves. His excitement is infectious, making him incredibly tempting to harness this, go deep into a subject or project that interests you, and discuss about it with real energy. Pay attentive to her reactions and alter your technique to keep her captivated while you speak passionately about something you care about. It builds appreciation and a strong emotional connection. Weakness. 10. The emotionally intelligent man. Women are naturally emotional, and a man who understands and handles his emotions shines out. Emotionally educated men have an advantage because they can interact with women on a deeper, more meaningful level. To establish this characteristic, listen attentively. Study her body language and offer encouragement without always attempting to mend things. Having amazing experiences together also improves your friendship by becoming someone she can rely on, for emotional assist you in becoming exceptionally handsome. With little work, by joining our group of men who comprehend and subscribe to this channel to take advantage of female psychology. If you've reached this point, you're already one of us. Please share your opinions about the video in the comments below, and don't forget to watch our upcoming video on how to tell whether a lady is interested in you. Stay tuned, and an expert in the psychology of women. What makes a man appealing? So you want to win her heart, but you want to disregard all you've been taught because this isn't the right way to attract women. Need to change the relationship such that if you're pursuing her, she should be the one seeking you and not the other way around. You have to think of yourself as a magnet, as she will never really come to you. That inevitably attracts women is the one method to make any girl, regardless of "that's precisely what we're going to do," who she is, fall in love with you. And how do you do that? This video's cover. Welcome to our series on attracting. In this episode, we'll delve deeply into the minds of women to discover what she truly believes. That one fundamental idea holds the secret to her success in attraction. Knowing the mechanics of attraction is crucial. Without it, you won't advance. In the women in the dating world tend to make decisions based more on feelings than on logic. Rationality, they react in accordance with the emotions that an event or a person arouses in them. As a result, they are unable to deliberately choose the people they are drawn to. Inadvertent reaction to specific actions guys take that you can't predict. You won't attract a woman by just enumerating your positive traits in a PowerPoint presentation. Instead, these traits come naturally to you in terms of behavior and personality. But let's first make two things clear. Important points. Women have little control over who they find attractive, whom they aren't drawn to. Attraction operates on a subliminal level by being outside their conscious awareness. So let's examine the types of men and women that natural attraction to a man they can't readily have. Picture yourself casually perusing the racks of a store when you notice a gleaming, cutting-edge TV that you didn't plan to purchase anything, but you inquired about it out of interest, and the salesperson said he was sorry. That's the final one, and this TV that you were looking at has unexpectedly sold out. Simply Curious About turns into the world's sexiest gadget when the salesman calls later to say they discovered another one in the warehouse, but it costs a little more, so you want it right away. What transpired was that TV became a necessary commodity since it appeared to. The attraction that unachievable women have for men functions similarly to the men. They cannot simply have turned into those limited edition things that are required to be unavailable. Enhances a man's worth and makes him more appealing, making him that uncommon, limited. In the dating world, edition guy is unquestionably a win to the took. It's fascinating to note that a man's status as an engaged or married, although it can seem paradoxical, attraction frequently soars. Funny game. The more elusive the goal, the more appealing it seems. A man's desirability index increases when someone else has already claimed him. The ceiling. Same to the last piece of pizza that everyone wants to eat at once. 3. The guy who is desired by other ladies. Picture yourself strolling down. There's nothing unusual about the box itself when you see people gathered around it in the street. But the fact that it's the center of attention piques your interest, and you begin to wonder what's so amazing about this box, in the same way that a man automatically turns into more appealing to other people. It's as though he's been given more attention, making curious. Other women begin to wonder what makes this guy so unique. These women are all intrigued, and their curiosity draws in more women like a strong magnet. In essence, being well-liked by women makes you even more well-liked by them in his. Women are the best crowd pleasers when it comes to unpredictable men. Being unpredictable can spark excitement because predictability can breed boredom. Picture of attraction. Most men approach women in a very direct and consistent manner, putting their goals on display. This openness can frequently make women disinterested because they can discern situations quickly. Particularly attractive women are accustomed to regular men approaching them in predictable ways, but when a man is, for example, it's unexpected, defies convention, and grabs their attention. Imagine yourself conversing with a stunning woman, and instead of offering the customary praise, you say something unexpected, like, "I think you can, but I'm not sure if we would get along. Handle me." This unexpected remark unsettles her and makes her feel uncomfortable curiosity. She could think, "Wait, he's saying I can't handle him. But what does that mean? This makes you different from other guys," and she finds herself wanting to know more. Her emotions are instantly engaged, and she becomes more attracted to you. Being unpredictable is definitely a game. Share. 5. The high-value man. Finally, let's talk about the high-value man. Just like how antique items can fetch astounding prices, even if they're no longer functional, a high-value man can be incredibly attractive. Even if he's not conventionally perfect, these antiques are valued not for their usability, but for the perception of their worth. Similarly, a man can be seen as highly attractive if a woman perceives him as high value. So what exactly does it mean to be a high-value man? Simply put, a woman sees a man as high value when she considers him more important than herself. As long as you maintain this upper hand, you'll be viewed as a high-value man. How to cultivate this perception? Here are a few key points to keep in mind. A high-value man doesn't try to impress women just for the sake of it. He doesn't seek attention or approval from women. He doesn't place a woman on a pedestal just because she's attractive. He never settles for less than the best and prioritizes his life and passions. He's willing to walk away if his principles are compromised. He lets women earn his attention rather than giving it away readily. He has options and isn't anxious to settle. Instead of adapting to a woman's environment, he invites her into his. Most importantly, a high-value man never seeks women by embracing these attributes. You'll naturally be considered as high value, and ladies will be drawn to you. Remember, we'll explore all of these in greater detail over this series. For now, these are simply the fundamentals. If you want me to continue with this series, let me know in the comments and discuss the challenges you're encountering so I can address them. If you haven't watched the first video yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, and your support matters a lot. The science of attracting females. So are you struggling to attract girls? Don't worry, I've got your back with the power of science and psychology. I'm here to make you into the male version of Regina George. Lesson 1. The scarcity principle. Psychologist Dr. Robert Tellini famously highlighted in his book that possibilities look more important when they are scarce. This theory is widely utilized in marketing and explains why billionaires could prefer a slow, one-of-a-kind car over a super-fast, mass-produced one. It's also why you've heard the phrase, "nice guys end last," and why it often rings true. It's not that girls dislike nice guys. It seems like nice guys are too accessible, while jerks seem to. The jerks seem more valuable because of their limited availability, but the thing they don't tell you is that it takes a nice guy who knows how to create scarcity, not a jerk. How to become less noticeable is significantly more appealing, but how do you manage this? Picture yourself at a party, seeing a female you like, and seeing guys fighting over her. It may seem hopeless to get her attention, but now is your chance to come on stage and shine. Say hello as you walk by in a warm and casual manner, then continue on to talk to an extra point if your companion is a female. By doing this, you're successfully projecting a limited edition sign onto yourself, as opposed to the males clinging to her. You've established an exceptional chance, something that must be taken advantage of before its second lesson, the gain-loss theory, which builds upon the gain-loss theory of attraction, provides more understanding of the concept of scarcity. Why good guys might appear to come in last, in an ingenious study conducted by college students set up in individual meetings. Following each encounter, the students inadvertently overheard the experimenters' judgments of them, which were either wholly positive, all negative, initially negative, but becoming positive, or initially positive, but growing negative when questioned afterward how much they loved the experimenter. The students unsurprisingly liked the experimenter most when the feedback was entirely positive. However, they liked the experimenter even more when the initial feedback was negative but turned positive over time. This shows that winning someone over after a rocky start is far more satisfying than simply being liked from the beginning. When utilizing this method with a girl, you need to be cautious. Trying to gently signal that she's left a bad impression without coming off as a jerk can be tricky. The important is to use your tone and body language carefully. Additionally, once you determine if she has won you over, make sure to properly explain that if it's not obvious that you've warmed up to her, she might assume you're not interested, which can backfire and drive her away. Lesson 3. Closeness. In Lesson 1, we explored the importance of being scarce in terms of attention, yet it's vital to realize that scarcity doesn't apply to proximity. A study on relationship building at MIT found that the formation of close ties was mostly dependent on proximity. The closer someone resided in a dorm, the more likely they were to be listed as a close friend. For instance, those who lived only one dorm away had a 41% chance of becoming close buddies, whereas those 4 dorms away had only a 10% probability the takeaway. Being physically close to the female you're interested in is necessary, but proximity isn't not only about where you are, but also about how often you can someone you see for 10 minutes every day than with someone you see for an hour once a week. If you lack proximity, you'll need to create it carefully. Try adjusting your route to class to pass by her, joining a club she's in, or seeking additional opportunities to cross paths regularly. Nevertheless, be delicate. There's a fine line between creating proximity and coming off as creepy. Don't cross it. So let's say you've built decent proximity, having showed that she's won you over. How can you retain her positive sentiments toward you? Lesson 4. The Ben Franklin impact. Benjamin Franklin had a method to being liked by everyone. He solicited people for favors. While you could assume that asking for favors would upset people, the reverse is true. A 1971 research at the University of North Carolina found that when people do something pleasant for others, they seem to like them more. In this study, respondents were informed to either support or be critical of pupils who were acting during their performance. Tasks later, the volunteers were questioned about the kids' likability and attractiveness, and the findings revealed showed people who had support were thought to be more appealing than those who chastised. The takeaway is to present the female you admire with opportunity to be nice to you, starting with little favors. By doing this, you're quietly pushing her to feel more positively about you for the moment, or something straightforward. For instance, you could place your pencil down close to her and ask her to retrieve it for you. Ask her for assistance with a tiny task you're working on. Little actions like these can genuinely increase your appealing, since they provide modest chances for linkage. Lesson 5. The factor of appearance. In 1997, researchers Moran and Bloom examined 117 people for their study, which produced an interesting discovery. College students asking them to respond after seeing 76 images of the other sex to evaluate each one's attractiveness. Unexpectedly, the study discovered that the majority of appealing traits were linked to rather than exclusively derived from genetics. Things that you can manage, such proper posture, discernible grooming and well-fitting attire, a cheerful outlook, and upholding a healthy lifestyle. Let me reiterate that the most desirable characteristics are not purely inherited by placing exercise on a daily basis while standing tall and keeping your shoulders back. Keeping things tidy, dressing appropriately, and grinning as much as you can greatly improve your attractiveness. You may be doing everything else correctly, but she won't be interested if you don't take care of your appearance and present yourself well. Last lesson. Chemistry and luck, or rather attraction, frequently boils down to a genetic factor that is out of your control: compatibility, which takes us to the field of neurobiology, where two important variables are at play: a part in deciding enduring attraction, and has the power to almost your nose senses impacts. Thus, the first aspect is your sense of smell. Genetic information carrying pheromones that might cause physiological or behavioral reactions. If women's nostrils are likewise able to detect MHC molecules, which are immune system functioning, study indicates that women are frequently more drawn to males with different MHC molecules than they do because of this hereditary. Unfortunately, diversity is beneficial for prospective offspring. Because men's MHC detecting abilities differ, you can feel a powerful bond, but if your MHC molecules are excessively similar to hers, she may not share the same sentiments. The second and possibly most important factor is this initial kiss is a sophisticated chemical and physical exchange. It's really important to consider everything, even the flavor of your tongue and breath. That a lot of women say they stop being attracted to someone after a poor first kiss. But when a kiss goes well, norepinephrine is released in a rush, starting the fight ORF. Your pulse rushes, your pupils enlarge, and your energy spikes during the flight response. If everything makes sense, you've connected deeply and learned the mysteries of, we're going to get into 11 female body language presently. Scientifically validated body language indicators that frequently show a woman's developing interest in you, as well as will highlight the most obvious indication that she isn't interested in you. So save your time. Signal 1. Duplicating your actions. Imagine yourself sitting across from her in a cafe, idly running your hand through your hair, and she mimics you a few moments later. This subliminal mirroring is the most obvious indication of interest. Mirroring is when someone mimics your body language without realizing it, giving off a cozy vibe and a desire to establish a rapport. The reason this is important is, psychologically, it's nearly always an involuntary action. When she mirrors your actions, mirroring stems from our innate desire for connection and reciprocity. Gestures are her unconsciously used method of expressing how at ease and interested she is in strengthening the link between this behavior and a basic human need to establish common experiences that serve as a foundation for a closer relationship. In essence, mirroring is more than just imitation. It's a strong sign of trust. Playing with her is another telltale sign of interest, as is empathy and a developing connection. This seemingly innocuous gesture can disclose a great deal about her emotions. When she twirls or plays with her hair, it's usually because she's anxious, and this behavior is related to her psychological desire to improve her appearance. To self-awareness, when she's around someone she finds interesting, let's say you're having a meaningful conversation or laughing together, she is having a chat when she begins to play with a strand of her hair. This is not merely a harmless habit. It's a subconscious attempt to get your notice by emphasizing her femininity, and engaging in psychological games with hair can be viewed as a way to express one's natural desire to look better attractive in the eyes of someone they're attracted in. It's a subtle yet potent indicator that she's invested in the connection and wants to leave a positive impression signal. 10. Messing with hair. When a woman feels attracted to someone, she may become more self-conscious about her appearance, often focusing on her hair as a subconscious desire to increase her attraction. For instance, if you give her a compliment and she starts running her fingers through her hair. It's not simply a casual gesture. This move acts as a non-verbal recognition of your words, quietly improving her attractiveness and urging you to notice and appreciate her signal and clear and purposeful eye contact. Clear, deliberate. Eye contact is a key indicator of a woman's attention. When she looks at you with intention and clarity, it signifies more than a casual glance. This form of eye contact conveys confidence, focus, and a real want to connect. If you find her eyes frequently connecting yours during a group talk or in a crowded environment, it's a purposeful effort to develop a relationship with you, making you the main point of her attention signal. 8. Open posture. An open stance is an additional, undetectable yet telling clue that a lady has adopted an approach that is open and facing you, indicating a readiness to connect. Her nonverbal cues suggest that she is not only there, but actively extending an invitation. Interaction if she keeps her body in your direct line of sight. Open position is frequently an indication that she's intrigued and is awaiting your response. When a woman purposefully enters into your personal space, move signals a clear sign of interest. When someone enters your personal space, the unseen line that each of us draws to indicate our comfort zone. She's shown comfort in this area and a desire for a tighter relationship. A bond that transcends simple conversation, as demonstrated by this gesture. She's willing to work with you, showing that she genuinely cares for you and a readiness to interact more fully. Picture yourself at a gathering when she starts walking across the room to approach you. The important thing to notice is where she pauses and enters your space, if she is within 4 feet of you personal space. This is a deliberate strategy, not an accidental one. You probably intended to converse at this point, but take into account the distance. She is now approaching what is referred to be the intimacy zone, which is this. This is a clear indication that she's interested in talking to you. This area becomes more private, indicating a change to a more private. An effective non-verbal cue of interest is when a connection intrudes on personal space. 6. Dilated nostrils, indicating a less. Nostril widening is a common yet informative indication. However, it may not be the first, what you may consider a flirty gesture, but it can also convey a feeling of coziness and openness, as opposed to more conscious body language cues, such as widening nostrils. Frequently an instinctive, natural reaction if you see her nostrils widening if she's with you, it means she's comfortable and at ease, which suggests a degree of comfort in your company. Signal 5. While paying attention to her lips. Another telltale indicator is when a woman makes eye contact with her lips following. During a lengthy conversation, if she touches her lips lightly or accentuates them by putting on lipstick, it's an indication that she wants you to pay attention to them. Her lips are a flirty approach that transcends mere non-verbal communication. If you see her, she's expressing interest in you and drawing your attention to this alluring part of her body. When you look directly into her mouth while you're speaking, it's a sign that she wants to go closer and may be expressing love or sexual interest with a four-footed signal. Despite its odd appearance, signal number 4 provides valuable direction information, even when she's standing next to you, laughing, and seems to be. When she is completely focused, the position of her feet can show her actual degree of interest is conveyed more clearly by feet than by other body language or face emotions, which can occasionally be deceptive. Image of her subconscious plans if her feet are aimed straight at you. A clear indication that she's genuinely excited and involved. But if her feet are turned aside even while she's engaging in the conversation, it could mean that she's thinking elsewhere. Signal number 3 with dilated pupils and a sideways gaze entails dilated pupils and a sideways glance, which many people ignore cues, but they are also strong markers of dilated pupils of attraction, which lead to, if her pupils enlarge, this could indicate arousal or emotional interest based on the autonomic nervous system's reaction. It's clear from your interactions that she's attracted to you. If she offers you a sideways glance, that's another subtle yet informative signal. Sideways glance is a tacit method of recognizing or assessing the interaction. This quick look shows that she's focused on you, and frequently indicates flirtation or second interest signal that reveals the neck. One blatant indicator of attraction is when a lady exposes her neck. Shows vulnerability and trust, because the neck is an exposed, sensitive area. Her head tilt and her hair pushed aside to reveal her neck are two ways she shows her ease and openness around. This behavior is similar to what animals in the animal kingdom instinctively perform and shows confidence and safety in interpersonal dealings, suggesting that she feels safe and receptive to you. Indicate one deliberate intentional physical touch is the most telling indicator of developing interest. Examples of this include touching your hand, the rubbing her leg against yours, or even giving you a hug arm if she's feeling cold. These expressions show that she's at ease and willing to share her feelings with your. Deliberate physical contact dissolves boundaries and denotes a deeper degree of attraction and connection. When she touches your brushes against you, gives you a warm embrace, or rests on your shoulder, communicates volumes. These aren't merely inoffensive gestures. They convey a degree of closeness that transcends friendship and demonstrates her comfort in sharing her physical space. On the other hand, your crossed arms are a glaring indication of apathy. When she crosses her arms in front of you, it's a clear non-verbal cue that she's not interested. Of discomfort or indifference, crossed arms can indicate that she is not interested with what you're saying, and in certain situations, it could indicate that she feels the need to shield herself from your discomfort. Crossed arms could, in the best-case situation, only indicate that she's cold, but it's important to remember that not good news either, because if you see her crossing her arms, it can be an indication that it's time to reconsider the circumstances and possibly move on. So these are the 11 potent body language cues that show she likes. If you found this video useful, there's a critical indication that she doesn't. While you're here, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights. Thank you for viewing, and check out these other educational videos.